Hey, this is Paul Payton with Focal Splash, and I was asked to take this picture and remove the people from the background. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to play around a little bit and maybe change part of the background up just to separate him from this other person. Zoom in here and see, hold the Alt key, and I guess that's part of him, but we'll leave it out anyway. I'm not going to be like, hey, where's that piece of my backpack? Nobody's going to see it. Alright, like that, and that's a pretty good cutout there. It's a cute picture. It's a moment captured on a cell phone. Not always do we have professional photographers just standing around, right? Even if we did, we wouldn't be able to afford every moment of our lives captured by a professional photographer. So it's a really neat thing in our generation. We have cell phones. And we'll add her. I really like what they're standing on. This rock here. This is pretty nice. Even if I did change the background, I would leave that. Go into select and mask just to make sure. Hold the Alt key down. I hit R to get the refine edge tool. See if we can't find a better edge on her hair there. Up here. If I hit X, it shows me the picture behind, so I can make sure I'm getting all of her hair in the selection. Grab this right here. We're not going to make a perfect selection on his hair. The detail in the image doesn't really require that perfect of a selection there. And once we put them on a different background, we can adjust the layer mask. So paint something in and out to make it do what we want it. Alright. So I think that's a pretty good selection. We're going to put them up on a new layer with a layer mask like that. And everyone's gone. So we'll turn this back on. Turn this off. And I'm going to just try with the clone stamp tool. I'll just be real quick about it. And zoom in here on this layer. I'm just going to try from here. And I've got a hard brush for some reason. I'm going to soften that brush up so that the edges are not, the edges of the stamp are not visible. Again here. I think that's going to be fine. I didn't like that. I think that looks good. Right from here, just gonna right there, right here. I'm gonna continue this white line, continue this shadow like that. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, just make it look like everything is where it should be. Oh, got a little bit of her arm there. So my brush is too soft. Alright, so there's that person gone. And up here, I'm going to just grab from here and get rid of, whoops, grab from here and get rid of this person. And I'm going to just get rid of, what's going on over here. Like, oh, you just overwrote him. No, that's fine, watch. Give me a few seconds here. We don't want to just repeat tree limbs. Okay. And down here, we can repeat not the edge of the thing, we'll just repeat the shadow up here and up there. Something like that. Alright, and now when we turn this layer back on, it covers that, fixes that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crop this and crop it as a 4x6 and hit enter. That looks good for just getting rid of the people. And I'm going to file, export this and say people gone. Alright, And then the next thing I'm going to do is turn that layer off again and make a selection here with the lasso tool. And I'm just going to I'm going to create a layer mask like that, and then hit Control I, and now the top half is gone. See that? And these are beautiful rocks they're standing on. I like that, granite or whatever it is. And now I'm just gonna look for an image to replace that. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Control T, click here, and I'm going to hit enter on that and then drop it down behind them. And that would be nice if they're standing on that, but I like them. I like the rocks they're standing on. All right, and that's looking pretty good. Go and move this up a little bit, so something like that. All right, and then I'm going to take these two layers. I'm going to hit Control J. That's creates copies of them. Control E. Now those two layers are together in a layer. And I'm going to go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. Yep, looks kind of funny, doesn't it? And I'm just going to lower the exposure. This is just a quicker way to do it. Hit Auto on that. I probably like that color better. And lower the exposure some more. And bump the contrast a little bit, bump the clarity a little bit. That blue is not that great, so we don't want to have to make an adjustment here. We'll make that on the other side of Photoshop. A little bit dehaze on those things, and just hit OK. All right, darken the background up a little bit. We still have the light coming from the right direction, which is nice. That sky is not the color I want, so I'm going to hit a hue and saturation layer, colorize, and bump the saturation up and find a good color for that sky. I like that. I'm going to hit Control I to invert it, and with the brush I'm going to paint with white on that layer mask and paint in the sky. It's not a great color either, but give me a few seconds on that. And let's adjust this color a little more cyan, something like that. That matches the mountains. Let's go back to the brush on the layer mask and see what happens if we brush onto these mountains a little bit. Yeah, I'm liking that. Let's just make the sky paint this ground too. And hit X. I'm going to take it off of this a little bit at 2, just to make it paint it, not fully color it. X again. I want this color to be down here. That looks pretty nice. I'm liking that. Next thing I'm going to do is create a stamp of this, so everything down there is now up in this one layer. And go back into Camera Raw. You see I kind of like Camera Raw, don't I? And just auto on that. I brightened it back up, lower it a little bit. I think that's going to be work. Hit auto there. Yep. Try to lower these highlights. He's kind of blown out on his face. That's okay. Lots of sunlight. And I want to add a little bit of brightness to her face. So before I do that, let's go ahead and put in this vignette that I like. Not noticeable, just a little, make them brighter actually in the middle. And click here. I'm going to brighten her up with a radial gradient. Just clicking right here to zero everything but this out, and add just a little light to her face. Probably want to add just a little more. Something like that. And I think we're done. Isn't it okay? The only other thing I might do, that's the before and that's after Camera Raw. Before and after. I really like that. Alright, so I'm just going to crop it a little bit. I'm going to center them just a little bit like that. I think they'll like that. And there you have it. That's what I would do to this picture. If you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate it. You can find us at Focal Splash Education on Facebook, and on YouTube you can find us at Focal Splash also. So thank you.